Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield myself 5 minutes.
Gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to express my strong support for our nation's military and for the resolution before the House today. I'm a proud veteran. I know what it's like to say goodbye to loved ones and be gone for a month, or a year, or 13 months, as in my case when I served in Vietnam. I voted against this authorizing the use of force against Iraq because I did not believe that the evidence provided by the administration, particularly the intelligence data, were sufficient to justify putting our troops in harm's way. Combat should be the last option. I know, I've been there. Over 3,000 American lives later, and tens of thousands suffering debilitating injuries, yet we are no closer to our goal of a secure and stable Iraq, and the situation there continues to deteriorate. Our military families are paying a high price. There were a couple of articles in today's paper that talked about our inability to find common ground. Well, I disagree. I think we find common ground because we care about not just our troops, but their families, our military families. I want to read a letter that I got from a soldier who's from El Paso, not assigned to El Paso, but is from El Paso. I want to submit it for the record with unanimous consent. Here's the letter. Hello, sir. My name is Sergeant Matthew Baeza. Currently, I am deployed in Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. I am an El Paso native, and I have not been too big on politics, although I did my fair share of rallies with my father, Luis Baeza, when I was in high school. I have met you on several occasions through my father, as well as when we met on the steps of the Senate when I was in on a high school trip to D.C. in 1999. My concerns are brought forward wholehearted. They do not concern El Paso, but it does concern El Pasoans all over the country who serve in the military and who are deployed in theater of operations. Many of us in the military believe in what we do and feel our mission here is warranted. The issues are not against our deployments, but rather the length of our deployments. You see, the Army is the only branch that will always deploy with a full 12-month rotation in its deployments. Other branches have been cut to 6 or even 3 months. I do realize there are certain elements in other branches that serve a 12-month rotation like the Army. Nonetheless, the Army uses a 12-month rotation. The issue I have is that 12 months isn't that difficult to pull the first time. But into your second and third deployments, some soldiers serving with me back-to-back 4 times, it starts to break the backs of even the strongest of families. Children are seeking counseling as young as 3 or 4 years old due to the absence of their parents. And if a marriage survives, most end up seeking help from chaplains or marriage counselors. Is that how we want our service members and their families to live? Out of a 5-year marriage, I will have been absent 3 years and will only have known my son for 9 months when I return in a few days for his 3rd birthday. My marriage, along with hundreds of other service members, are quickly ending due to the amount of time absent from home. I am not sure if surveys have been performed, but I can almost guarantee you the percentage of divorces has multiplied at an exponential rate. But yet, talks of cutting down deployments have been in the works for a year, but no progress have we seen. The vast majority of armed service members are proud every day to put on our uniform and help others who cannot help themselves. But at what cost? At the cost of losing the ones we love. And at the end of it all, we cannot place blame on our spouses, for they have been holding on longer than most could ever imagine. Our spouses run multiple lives, as my wife does, as a professional reporter for the local newspaper, a mother who is raising a family on her own, as a military spouse, as my wife. She has a lot to deal with. Bills, care for our child, her work, and dealing with my calls from home, whether they be happy or sad. It is simply too much to ask from any one person. My wife is as strong as they come, but with the last 3 years, her patience has worn extremely thin. With us being away from home, many wives end up leaving their husbands, searching for a better life or long-needed affection without a phone, or even to become their own person again. My wife told me something the other day that really hit me. And he quotes his wife, "No one knows who you are, They know Megan and they know Dominic and the guy that keeps calling on the phone. That is who we have become to our families, just a voice on the phone. I am not asking to get out of this conflict. We are doing well here. Plus, if we leave, the friends I have lost here would have died in vain. An additional minute?
Gentleman's yield.
I cannot have that on my conscience. We all realize the good that we are accomplishing here, but we are losing our families over it. We don't try to save the world, at least I don't. That is too much to ask of one person, but rather try for the ones closest to us, my son and my wife. But when they are gone, who is it for? Every day I am here, I tell myself I do this for them, and others feel the same way. I am not asking you to change the way things are, but rather voice your opinion and raise a flag for those of us that cannot. With your reputation and your influence, others in helping us cut our deployments to shorter periods. We are not asking to leave Iraq or Afghanistan, but rather to cut the time away from home. When you start stacking deployments on top of each other, families get broken, and when that happens, you get service members who cannot perform. At what cost when your life is falling apart? Signed, Sergeant Baeza. Madam Speaker, that's what we're doing to our military families. That's what this resolution is about. It's about having the Iraqis accept responsibility for their own country and for their own responsibility in taking care of themselves. That's why we do this.
Expired.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Gentlelady from New Mexico.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.